So, welcome to the show, Dr. Nurgis.
Thank you very much, Fawad.
Okay, so let's start from this discovery. What is this discovery all about? Why it is being said that this discovery, this is a discovery of the century? पूरी century की discovery है, क्यों कहा जा रहा है?
Well, I think only time will tell if that's really true. It's a monumental discovery because what we've really done, this group of people of whom I'm part of it. What we've really done is we've sort of established a new way of doing astronomy, a new way of looking at the universe, and that's really what's very big about it. It is that suddenly we'll have a way of looking out into the universe that we haven't had before.
Okay, so just tell me that how it affects the way we think of the world.
Yeah, so I think when you look out into so first of all, humans since the beginning of history have looked out into the sky and wondered what's out there, and we have learned over the millennia that what's out there is really important to what we are here, because the building blocks of everything we're made of comes from the rest of the universe. So when everything we know about the universe so far, most everything, comes from light. We point our telescopes when we collect light. We collect light from the stars. What we're doing now with this discovery is we're saying we don't only use light, we also use this other messenger, this carrier of energy called a gravitational wave. And that contains inside of it, it's due to the gravity of star systems. And as a result, it contains quite different information than what light can do. So it gives us the ability to look out into the universe using a completely new tool.
Okay, Dr. Nurgis says in Pakistan there's quite a hype about you and everyone wants to know more about you. So I would like to start from your birthplace. Where really you born in Karachi?
I actually was not born in Karachi. I'm told I was born in Lahore.
Oh, you was born in Lahore?
In Karachi.
Oh, you was born in Lahore?
That's right, but I grew up in Karachi.
Okay, so how was that? Just tell us about yourself a little bit.
So I grew up in a family with Zoroastrian family in Karachi. I had an older sister and myself, and I grew up in a family that was highly valued education. My sister and I both went to the Convent of Jesus and Mary, and my parents were very committed to that being a very big piece of our lives, that we go to school, we get educated, and then go overseas for higher education. So I grew up in a family very focused on that, and in a neighborhood of the city that I think was near Clifton.
Okay, I understand that you received your early education from Convent Jesus and Mary in Karachi. So what are your memories of that institution, your friends, and how you grew up in all that environment?
When you get to my age, those memories start fading. But even so, let me tell you, they're very fond. I think of the Convent of Jesus and Mary as a place where I learned to think. I actually don't think it matters exactly what you learn. It matters that you learn to think, and I think that was a good place for that. I learned to ask questions about things, and I had some very formative educational experiences there, and I'm also actually a pretty social person, and so I also had a lot of friendships that formed there as well.
Okay, and have you ever visited Karachi again once you left Pakistan?
Yeah, I've been back maybe twice in the last 30 years. Most of my family lives overseas now, mostly in Canada and the US. So haven't had as much reason to visit Pakistan.
And how you opted to become a scientist? I mean, was you interested? How you got interested in science?
Well, I've actually been interested in it since I was a child. There's two pieces to it. There's the one thing which was sort of intrinsic interest, and then the other thing was it also gets it actually gets amplified by what you're good at. So it turned out I was actually kind of pretty good at science and math, and not all that skillful at the humanities, and so that sort of fed the interest as well. And then of course my family was, you know, very supportive of that. So it started sort of just as I was a good student. I liked science and math, and I've always been curious about the universe, and put all those three things together, and I had to be a scientist. I also could not be a biologist because I couldn't bear dissecting living things.
Okay, and also tell me that what kind of you are obviously you're in the first world, and the kind of environment you have there, the kind of facilities you have there, we don't have really back here in Pakistan, and even in the third world. How you see that? How can the countries like Pakistan and the third world in general can really have that kind of facilities here, and how can we basically look forward to that kind of progress that the first world is doing in these fields?
You know, that's a really, really good question, really tough question. Look, there are some basic things every society has to do, which is to, you know, we have to feed people, clothe them, give them housing. But once you get past those basics and give them safety, and once you get past those basics, then the things that make a society thrive are art and literature and science and discovery and music. And so I kind of feel like to build the infrastructure to do fundamental research, first any society has to take care of the basics and then start building up all these other things that make a society thrive. And so my answer is, I think really just, you know, when every person in the society has access to education and opportunity is when all these other things come into place.
Dr. Nurgis, after your success, you have created a stir in Pakistan, and now many girls must be looking for their career in science. What will be your advice to them?
You know, my advice to every student, and then certainly to the young women, is just you've got to do what gives you pleasure, and if it means a career in science, you've got to find a way to do it, because that's the thing that will, you know, every person will be doing for the rest of their lives is the professional path they take. A lot of other things in our lives change, but that is the one of the defining things of us. So people should just do what they enjoy most. And I think for all of society, whether it's in Pakistan or elsewhere, we have to create opportunities for young girls to do what they're good at and do what they love to do. And you know, there's a scientist in every child, and we have to cultivate that sense of wonder.
My question is that what are your own personal goals? How you are now looking forward to what kind of projects you will be undertaking, and what are your personal goals?
So you know, with this discovery, we've only just peeled away the first layer of the secrets that the universe wants to whisper to us. And so for me, I actually am going to continue working on these detectors, the LIGO detectors that were part, you know, that enable this discovery. And I'm an experimentalist. I actually like to design and build things, and so I'll continue to work on improving those detectors so we can actually make discoveries farther out in the universe, look at fainter objects, etc. So yeah, for the future of this field is bright, and I'm excited to be part of it.
Okay, Dr. Nurgis, what आखिर में मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि अभी आपको उर्दू आती है थोड़ी बहुत?
No, I followed everything you said. I'm not even going to try to answer that in Urdu. I told you before, if I talk in Urdu, your news show will turn into a comedy show.
नहीं, हमें मसला नहीं है. अगर आप कोशिश करना चाहें उर्दू बोलने की, तो आप जरूर कीजिए.
I'll say, you know, the thing that I feel most sincerely about the response that people in Pakistan have had to my participation in this discovery. Shukriya.
My question is that is there any possibility of your visit to Pakistan in near future?
Sure. I'm you know, I haven't made any plans, but of course it's possible.
So in the last, would you like to? I would like a message from you in Urdu for all the Pakistanis.
Look, I'll have to do it mixed in mixed language. For all your interest in this discovery and your support of my participation in it, to all Pakistanis, bahut shukriya.
Bahut shukriya. Thank you so much, Dr. Nurgis, for your time. And we are all obviously looking forward for more successes on your part, and the whole Pakistan and this part of the world is obviously is looking forward for your more successes in this. Thank you so much for joining us and for giving us your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Fawad, for having me.
इस वक्त यहाँ पे ब्रेक लेते